Here's an easy-to-use strategy that you can use to calm your child and prevent or de-escalate a meltdown. Distraction is an easy-to-use potential tool to help prevent or minimize a meltdown. And watching this video today, you'll learn 4 important things. Number 1, you'll learn why you should use distraction. Number 2, you'll understand the 2 best types of distractors that you can use. Number 3, when you should use distraction. And number 4, you'll learn the primary advantage to using distraction and the primary disadvantage to using distraction. Learning item number 1, why should you use distraction? Well, research in the area of conflict management shows that the introduction of a distractor can cause enough disruption in aggressive, self-injurious, or property destruction behaviors that it precludes the necessity of having to use physical interventions for your child, and therefore limiting any injury to yourself or your child. Item number 2, what are the 2 best types of distractors? Well, the first one would be using items that tie into the interests or the passions of your child. For example, if a child loves Nintendo, then a Nintendo game would be great to use as a distractor because if caught early enough in the crisis escalation cycle, that can be enough of a distractor to prevent him or her from going into meltdown mode. The second category has to do with things that are novel, flicking the lights on and off, loudly singing, making funny noises, using a whoopee cushion to make funny noises. Novel items that your child has never experienced before can oftentimes also serve as enough of a distractor to break that mental rut that they're in that's leading them towards a meltdown. Item number 3, when is it best to use distraction as a strategy? In the crisis escalation cycle, there's 4 phases. The tension phase, the refusal phase, the aggression phase, and then the calm down phase. The 2 best phases to use distraction as a strategy to prevent a meltdown, to prevent the aggression phase, is the tension phase and the refusal phase. Primarily the tension phase. And the tension phase is when you first notice that your child is starting to become stressed or anxious about something. That's the best phase because that's the phase in which problem solving can be used, and distraction is a very effective strategy. If the problem isn't resolved at that phase, it moves on to the refusal phase. And the refusal phase is when your child is now refusing to budge to do anything other than what he or she wants. Distraction can still be used then, but you have to catch it early in that phase because that's the phase where the adrenaline starts to increase, the heartbeat starts beating faster, and your child's ability to think rationally and to use logic is also decreasing at this point in time. And item number 4 is the advantage of distraction and the disadvantage of distraction. The primary advantage of distraction is its speed of effect. If you have an effective distractor, it is going to work very quickly and very effectively. It's not going to take a long time to work, and you'll know soon on whether you have an effective distractor or not. And because of its speed of effect, it buys you extra time. First of all, it provides a temporary period of time where there isn't any meltdown and any physical injury or property destruction of any kind, which buys you time to think about next time around what else could be done in this situation. The primary disadvantage of distractors is this: they're only temporary. It's a temporary effect. In other words, distractors don't tackle the initial underlying problems as to why the meltdown occurred. And so the effects of distractors are temporary. And the more that same situation comes up again and again and again, the less effective over time distractors will be. So here's the action step that I have for you today. Think about what possible distractors that you could use for your child. Are they going to tie into his or her interest or passions, or should it be something novel? Make out a list of what the possible distractors could be and have them ready so that next time that you begin to enter into that meltdown mode, you can try to use distraction as a strategy to prevent meltdowns and help your child to calm down. Hey, if you have any comments or questions, leave them in the section below. And while you're at it, subscribe to our YouTube channel.